Hi, I'm Sam. I'm an artist, graphic designer, and illustrator from Leicester, England. I like traveling, creating, cooking, going to the game, jumping in the water, and stuffing my face. In early 2023, I decided to put all my stuff into storage, sell my car, and go traveling, embracing life as a digital nomad, flying around the world and working remotely in other countries. So far, it's been a blast. I've been making memories, exploring different cultures, and embracing different ways of life. I've made a bunch of new friends, had a bunch of visitors from back home come out to stay with me, tried local cuisines, fell into tourist traps, and had way too much sunshine. Some of my favourite days since I've been away are the days where I've put the iPad in a bag, gone for a wander until I found somewhere to post up, enjoying the scenery and drawing something. So I want to bring you with me as I document my journey and try to adjust to life on the move, finding inspiration and living my dream of working and travelling, drawing and exploring. What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Drawing and Exploring with me, Sam Grubb. Today I'm in Athens. It's got a little cloudy last couple of days. I feel like my body temperature has changed. I've acclimatized whilst I've been away. But last night was the first night it felt kind of cold. And then I checked and it was like 17 degrees, which doesn't seem so cold, but I was kind of layered up for the first time. So I feel like it's about to dip now. It's mid-October, so I feel like it's going to start to get a little cooler. But today I just want to head as far out as I can on the tram to the south, so you can get the metro. The metro connects with the tram, and then you arrive in the marina, which looks pretty cool. And I heard from a couple of people that I asked that it's definitely a place I should check out whilst I'm here. And I've been here for about 2.5 weeks now, so I feel kind of like I've explored the centre a little bit and I kind of know my way around there. I'm starting to have that thing where you walk from one place to another place that you've been in. On the way, you see another thing where you're like, I was here the other night, so that leads up to this. And I'm starting to put the picture together. I can kind of make my way around without the map. So it's always nice when I get to that point. But yeah, first things first, going to jump on a metro. I'm dumping money on metro cards. It doesn't seem to be an option that's like the savvy kind of money saver one. I feel like Greece's economy is still a mess and the everyman's paying for it. So I'm dumping money on these metro cards. But yeah, gonna jump on, gonna head out to the marina, get on the tram. Says it's about 40 minutes. So let's make our way down. So I got it wrong, turns out it's a bus and not a tram. So I made my way to the bus stop. One thing I'm finding really hard being here in Greece is the Greek alphabet is nuts. Like I'm looking at words and trying to like read them in English, where, you know, certain letters and characters that look like ours, but they're not. And then it's always something kind of similar to English, but slightly different, you know, as you would read it. But I made it here to the bus stop. The bus is due in about 5-6 minutes. There's one swinging by now. Hopefully this isn't my bus. No, it's not me. So gonna jump on. I was kind of thinking, should I just get an Uber? And I was thinking it would be easier, but then I'm like, I kind of enjoy the adventure, I guess. Each of these episodes, I'm trying to like take the public transport and just see the city a little bit, explore, try and ingratiate myself into the systems and stuff. So I've got my metro card, it's got one trip left on it, so I hope that works. If not, I don't have any cash on me. So if it's not a card one, I might be going to a cash point looking pretty sad after missing the bus, but hopefully I'll get on with a metro card. So let's have a look. Gracias. Yeah. I ended up chinning it and just getting the Uber. I was waiting at the bus stop and like I was waiting for the B2 and the A2 came by like 3 times. The other ones were coming on time as per the little board with the schedule. My one just wasn't coming. So I thought, let me just jump on the Uber. And then as soon as I get down here, I see tram lines and I'm reading on the Wikipedia page that the tram ends up here. So I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe I'll just get the tram back. But here we are, Flisvos Marina, also called Old Phaleron. which was is interesting. It was saying it goes back to the 5th century BC. This was used as the first port for Athens before they moved to like another place slightly further along. And it says it's a popular destination for tourists and joggers and people to come and work out and grab some food or grab a coffee or whatever. There was the Battle of Phaleron, which was 1827, and it was to try and liberate some besieged Greeks who were trapped in, but it said it ended in disaster because they said the fortress collapsed. So I guess the boys didn't bring it home that day. And that happened here. Yeah, I don't really know where I'm going. I'm just mooching. Looks like I've come to the back of some restaurants. There's boats. I found a video on YouTube that said it's like a luxury marina. They offer a 24-hour concierge. I definitely think I'm the wrong way. Some woman here who's packing down a boat is just giving me a weird look. But yeah, they said they offer a 24-hour concierge, one of the only marinas in the world that offers such things. So, nice one. 64,000 people have settled here. I can't really see where. Maybe there's like a little town next to it or something like that. They said that a bunch of Turks came over a bunch of Greeks came over from Istanbul in the 60s and 70s, and you can just see the population shot up. I'm pretty sure I've reached a dead end here. Look at this. I'm just going to keep following it around. Let's have a look. But we're nearly here. I can see boats in the distance. I can see water. It's a shame it's a bit of a cloudy day. Not the best day for it. But either way, let's have a little explore and see what's going on here. What's going on here? What's going on here? Or you, what's going on here? So I took the short walk around the marina and kind of headed out along this way. Saw some graffiti, so I thought I'll go check that out. And it led me to this pavilion along the coastline, which is really nice. It's like I said, it's cloudy, you know, it's one of those days. I think the temperature is 21. Doesn't feel like it, feels a lot cooler, but it's come right down. And obviously with that, there's barely any people around. I can only imagine in the height of summer how popping this would be with people and sunbathers and joggers, people with the kids out. I'm not really sure if you can swim. The rocks look pretty mad. I think you still probably fancy it. The water looks really still and nice. So I think it'd be a cool vibe. But yeah, nice to see a new part of the city that I've not explored yet. But yeah, on with today's work then. So the mission is to find somewhere. I always say I'm going to get in somewhere, find some AC. Usually I'm dripping with sweat when I'm doing these videos. And I always end up just sat outside because I like the vibe. I like hearing the city go by. But genuinely today, I think I might be headed inside. We will see. There's still time to be outside. But yeah, it's another Mill Hill day, another day for my mate Jay over at Mill Hill Brew Co. Local craft beer brewers and coffee roasters. And I've done a bunch of cans for them. Maybe you would have seen in some of the other episodes when I was working on some pieces for them. Today is another Leicester Legends design. So this time for Mark Selby, who is a former snooker and pool world champion. He's the only fella ever to hold both the pool and the snooker world titles at the same time. So that's pretty cool. And he won a snooker world championship 13 minutes after Leicester's fate was secured in that, Leicester City's fate was secured in that Spurs versus Chelsea match. So pretty cool. He's a cool dude, known as the Jester from Leicester, and that's the name of the beer. So, like I said, gonna get in somewhere, maybe grab a little cool crisp Coke Zero and get the iPad out. All right, Loco Sabor. So I got sat in here, there was like, obviously it's a marina, so it's a bit swish, whatever. And the greeter like met me out the front and said, yeah, come sit over here, no problem. And then I'm looking up and all I'm seeing is just staff messing around. There's like some DJ kind of guys flirting with like the bar staff and stuff. Like the waiters are nowhere to be seen. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I just wanted to get like a drink and chill. So I thought, let me just start drawing anyway and just crack on. And I was waiting so long for someone to come over. And then the whole time, some DJ guy who was setting up is like messing around with the sound. And it was like, listen to this. I've just left the sound on. You see my hands skitting around. I can't explain to you how loud that was, right? It was like, it was so deafening. So I thought, sod this, I ain't getting served. the place is pumping out awful music anyway. This guy's prattling around with a PA machine and like obviously leaving the channel up full and switching over. Like it was so loud. So I was like, right, I'm just gonna go just up the marina a little bit. Found myself in a cute little coffee shop. Not a problem, perfect. Beautiful lemonade on the go. And yeah, continued the work. So here I'm just working on a rough sketch. Initially I tried the thing with him kind of leaning over the table, but I wasn't mad on it. I liked the trophy. I thought this was kind of the key part, like this guy's a champion. So I wanted to depict that and show him holding the big trophy rather than just leaning over the table as you just seen there when I'm flashing it up. So you know the score by now. I'm gonna make the rough sketch and then just kind of go over and outline it, get that line drawing down. I'm using Procreate on a 12.9 inch 5th generation iPad Pro, and it's a 2nd generation Apple Pencil I'm using. My first one, I've not lost it or broke it the whole time I've had this iPad, which I'm pretty happy with. The worst thing I had, I think I spoke about it right on one of the early episodes, was it rolls off the table and I dropped it, landed on the nib, and then the nib was like broken on the bit where it screws in. So I think I was in Mexico at the time, had to wait to get back home to change the nib over, but just ordered a couple on Amazon. They were like a couple of pounds. So I thought the whole pen was bust, but it was actually fine. I was lucky. Yeah, getting these the ribbons in here, going through on the line layer underneath and just deleting the bits where it overlaps. And then yeah, I've just got to bring him up there just to copy kind of what he's wearing. I was thinking about putting the whole sort of two-piece on, but then I thought, no, I like the fur. I want to leave it sort of in this monster land. Went for the jester hat, obviously the jester from Leicester, little nod there. And then just going to get a couple of balls on the table and draw a pocket in. You can see sort of how it's coming together. I know obviously on a few other episodes I've shown you the process of drawing the art for these guys at Mill Hill, so there's a bit of space that I've left on the left just to get the text over the top, and then when I send it over to them, it's going to be the full image, just the rectangle illustration, and then I'll send them text separately. So if they want to, they can make a pump clip where they'll need to make a portrait composition and just kind of have the text sitting up the top. Here I'm thinking like, okay, I want to draw a background. I thought packed snooker hall just out of focus in the background. And then I thought, no, it doesn't really work. I wanted to keep it a bit more colourful. So I'm trying to build up a texture here and think, how could it look? And I kind of got this idea to put like a flashing, sort of camera flashes in the background, like, you know, sort of when you see someone holding up a trophy and the paparazzi's going mad. So I thought, let me colour the foreground first, get some colour on him. I think I changed the orange because I'm thinking, I guess that just looks like a ginger nut, right? Whereas I'm thinking there might be a better colour. Then I'm thinking, you know, do I go with like a blue, like a Leicester blue? So I think he ends up blue. Here, just looking at a jester hat. I'm trying to think what colours is it. You know, you've got like a few colours in there. I'm just building it up, adding a little bit of detail to the lenses of the glasses. I like this part because I can just kind of cut back, draw them in, and then go back and just kind of neaten them up, trim off those little bits around the outside. Yeah, there he is. So now I'm thinking, okay, this guy should be blue. That makes a lot more sense. And then thinking about the colours for the jester hat. Realising this green arm just needs the yellow piece underneath. So this is where the layers are handy there. I can just go back to my line layer and draw in like another line, and then if I'm still using that as the reference layer for the layer that's got all the colours on, then I can just paste in the yellow and it just fills the whole area. It's sort of a non-destructive workflow, so you can go back and make some changes if you need to. Here, as per with the shadows, so I've got a layer. I'm using a full black brush, full opacity up. You can see on the left of the screen there's two sliders. So the top one is down low because it's a small brush size, and then the second one is full opacity. And then on the shadow layer, I'll just turn the opacity of the layer down, and that just helps keep it consistent. If you did it the other way and you used a brush with the opacity halfway down, if you went over the same spot twice, then it's going to colour it. Say if it was 40% opacity, you go over it twice, it's going to make it 80% opacity. And I want the shadow layer to be consistent. Um, Here I'm just thinking about, you know, the colours for the side part. I'm kind of thinking for the background, I want something that ties into the colours on the jester hat, makes them all jump out a little bit. And I went for this kind of hot, pinky purpley sort of colour. And then on with the text. So I like to make a rough outline with this and then re-render it and kind of neaten it up a little bit. Jester from Leicester, and I'm thinking, you know, I want those bubble letters, something that's a bit fun, a bit playful, clearly illustrative. Giving them a little thick outline, make it look a little comic bookish kind of. Man, I love this iPad so much. I love working on it. The other thing I've got is it's called Paper-like. It's a screen cover that stops it. Just, you know, if you're pressing onto the glass, you're going to slip around a little bit with your pen and it's going to be difficult. Whereas this Paper-like is a brand, you buy like 2 in a pack for like £40 or something. They last ages. And the idea is it's like a screen protector, but it's got a slight papery texture. So it's just a little bit nicer to draw onto. Yeah, little white highlights. I was thinking I weren't too mad on the Spider-Man text. I always think when you see that red and blue right next to each other with nothing else going on, it just looks a little bit Spider-Man-ish. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to change that. But I think that's in a moment. I've got to get the little from dropped into the middle. Same thing, so I'm just going to outline that just to make it a little bit bolder. Drop that into the middle. So all this stuff's on separate layers, which makes it super easy to manipulate and go back and change if something's not quite right. Like you can see there, I'm drawing that blue and it's just going straight inside the letters because I can make a little clipping mask and then flatten it down. So I like it. I think, to be fair, Procreate borrows a lot of its principles from like the Adobe suite and stuff like that. So I think if you're savvy with Photoshop or Illustrator, a lot of things are going to make sense when you're in Procreate. Here, just figuring out getting the sizes of the text. I think the from was maybe too small, so I just wanted to just make the jester and Leicester a little bit smaller to fit in. And then I thought, yeah, a little outline, that'll go far just to make it stand off the page a little bit. This one's an English IPA. In keeping with the colour theme taken from the jester hat, I thought it'd be cool. Like I said, I think maybe on the last episode, I'm talking about this Mill Hill stuff and I'm saying, you know, we've done a lot of these now and I'm keen to kind of keep the colours changing and make them look a little bit different if I can. So that's where the colours for the text comes from. And here is the camera flashes that are just going to sit and lift the background just a little bit, make it not look so flat. Thinking, what colour should the Mill Hill logo be here? By this point, I've got a whole bunch of layers in the document, so it's difficult whizzing through and need to tidy up. Yeah, I thought let's make that yellow to match the power line on the text. And then a couple of little gleams on the trophy itself. Bling, bling, bling. I wanted to make it look more sparkly and bright. Nearly forgot the Leicester Legends tag to go in there. Thinking about could it fit underneath, I thought no, it's gonna have to go there. I kind of like it in that space, I think it makes sense anyway. Move those sparkles out the way. There you go. Jester from Leicester. The Mill Hill 5% English IPA. All right, so I missed the sunset. I was sat there drawing away just in my own little world. And I looked up and it was pretty dark already. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give in. I'm going to go find some food, step out, try catch the last of it and leave like an hour or so of the work to do later. So I had a Google and there's a spot that's like 12 minutes from where I was. So I've just been walking down the same strip and there's a few more people out. Up there was some people grabbing street food and stuff like that. And there's people chilling on the benches and meeting up. A few more runners around. It's pretty cool tonight in terms of temperature. But yeah, gonna head to this spot. It's interesting. It's a bit quieter down here, which is nice. It's obviously quieter than the centre. And I'm not sure whether you would have seen on the other episode where I said in the centre it's nuts. It's so busy. And what I'm finding is kind of block to block and street to street. Some places you'll go to and it's super busy. There's loads of people, hundreds of people everywhere sprawling out onto the front with their tables and their benches and stuff. And then you'll turn round one corner and it'll be stone dead. You won't see a single person. And it hops between being really quiet and super over pedestrianised, busy, rammed out in a tiny little street, kind of block to block. It's really interesting. So it's nice venturing a little bit further out of the centre and seeing that it's actually quiet here. You know, there's a little beach, little sandy beach. I'm not sure if you can see. So yeah, I might have to hit that if the sun comes back out. But it's cool, finding my way around. I'm going to head down to this place now. It looks good on Google. In the mood for some Greek food, so should be a good time. Let's have a look. Okay, To Faliraki since 1976, which is ages ago. Simple menu, not many things on the menu which I quite like. The star of the show is definitely this aubergine tomato-y number. Chicken was a bit pink and black. So I'm trying to, look, there's the aubergine going on the bread. Fantastic, loving this. It was like a vinegary, oily kind of salad sort of thing. Chicken here, little alarm bell look. That's coming straight out. Sorry to show you guys that kind of minging. I had to send it back, little inspection, looks much better. Comes out steaming hot. The guy said to me, he was like, would you like us to cook it for longer? I was like, yeah, look at it. It's been cooked in the heat at the moment. Needs a bit more action. I'm thinking it was black on the outside, so what I'm thinking there with your chicken is, don't want to teach Mr. Faliraki how to suck eggs or how to souvlaki chicken, but the heat's too high. You know, if it's black and pink, that's not working. 22.51, 27 euros. Yeah. All right, we possibly just got food poisoning, so we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. Chicken was looking extremely pink, and I'm not one of those people. I don't mind a little bit of pink chicken here and there. You know, sometimes it's nice, it's tender. But this was just a little bit too pink. But yeah, heading on back now. I'm thinking whether to attempt to get the tram or just to get another metro. When I looked at Google Maps just then, it said to get the B2 bus again, which I'm sure doesn't exist. So do I head down to like the bus stop and look there, see if there's a bus coming, because they're all heading into centre from here. Or do I just book the Uber? I was thinking I've got to buy a new Metro card anyway, so it might just be the smart move just to book an Uber. It's only going to cost like a couple of euros more. But yeah, that's another episode, guys. Thanks for locking in. If you found the episode on a random one, thanks for sticking around. If you're one of my people who's following along, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I want to shout out the socials. So the Instagram is the best place to follow me if you want to see more of the work I do. Head to @SamGrubArt on Instagram. Give me a little follow there. Also the TikTok, same handle @SamGrubArt. So you can head there and see some shorts. I'm thinking about subscribing to one of those things, you know, where you put your video in and then they pump out like a bunch of ready-made TikToks and reels just to like flood TikTok with them. So I might do that. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Also, you can check out my portfolio website. In the process of updating it now. And that's like some bigger projects there with more deliverables and more moving parts. I've got to think about a few of these projects that I've worked on recently that might fit well on there. And from there, you can get to my shop. So you go shop.samgrub.co.uk and you can shop t-shirts and art prints and stickers, posters, postcards, things like that. It's nearly sort of Christmas market season, which is when I tend to get some new bits made up. So I'm going to have some new prints and new t-shirts on there shortly, which is exciting. But the main thing I want to shout out, and the main reason why I've started doing this thing and documenting where I'm going and documenting these kind of days, is because I want to grow my client base a little bit and try to find some international clients or some remote clients where I can work on their work while I'm away. So if you've got an umbrella brand and you want some funky umbrellas designing, you need some illustrations for those, then get in touch with me. You can contact me on contactdrawingandexploring@gmail.com. That's the email. shoot me a line there. We can talk about your project, work out what it is that you want, and then go from there, hopefully get it done. So yeah, if that sounds like you, like I said, contact drawingandexploring@gmail.com. But right now I'm going to sign off. When I was walking down here, on the way down, I seen a place that was called like Cookie Man or something like that. Some fella knocking out cookies and stuffed cookies, which sounds like a good idea after a nice fat Greek dinner on a Saturday night. So I think realistically the way this one goes is I go in, I buy some cookies, I book the Uber, I go home, I eat the cookies, which sounds like a good night. But yeah, like I said, guys, thanks for watching. I've been Sam Grub. I'll see you next time for another episode of Drawing and Exploring.